Our next guest is a very talented actress who stars in the Apple TV Plus show Mythic Quest. New episodes stream on Apple TV Plus Fridays. Let's take a look.
Why did you think that I needed cheering up?
Oh, well, because your family hates you and you have nowhere to go.
Where did you get that from? My family love me. They're in Melbourne. It's a 16-hour flight, so...
They went to Hawaii and didn't invite you.
Yes, but the Airbnb had limited beds, and so we all, on the group chat, they told me...
There was a 2-day layover in San Diego.
Whatever, you're spending Christmas alone, too.
Well, I don't really do family.
More like family doesn't do you. Ask your son.
Please welcome to the show, Charlotte Nicknow, everybody. I'm so happy you're here.
I'm so happy to be here.
This
Thanks
is
for having me.
Yeah, welcome. This is a very funny show about the world of video game developing. How much did you know about gaming and game design?
Not a lot.
Okay.
I'm ashamed to say I did. It was not a world that I was super familiar with.
I don't think you have to be ashamed about that, FYI.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Thank you. You know what? I'm letting the shame go then. It's
Great.
gone.
You know, that's the least we can do for you.
Okay, so I'm done here now. That's
absolutely.
what
Thank
I
you.
came
I'm sorry, I
for,
didn't think it would be this fast.
Thank you.
Did you enjoy the research?
I really did. Right after I got cast on the show, I had to go back to Australia, and I was like, I'm gonna get some research done while I'm here before I go back and shoot the first season. And I went for a checkup with my doctor, and she was like, hey, you know how you got that pap smear before you went to LA? You failed.
Oh, wow.
It was the bad one.
Okay.
And I was like...
I didn't know they were pass-fail.
I didn't know either. Yeah. It was a shock to me. She's like, you gotta go to hospital. They're putting you under a general anesthetic, and they gotta, like, sort that out. And I was like, okay, I don't want to do that, I'm afraid. And my husband was like, you have to. This is an important lesson, guys. You got to take care of your health. He was like, you have to. If you go and do this thing and go under your general anesthetic, on the way home, we can buy a Nintendo Switch. Like bribing me like I'm a child. I was like, all right, fine, let's go. So I went under the general anesthetic. I woke up. I don't know have you ever been under general anesthetic before?
Yes.
It's really scary.
It is.
You do the countdown and then you get to 5 and then you wake up and you think you're in Grey's Anatomy.
Yeah.
Which is what I said to the lovely nurse who was standing by me. I was like, I'm in Grey's Anatomy. And she was like, no, you're just in the hospital. I was like, where's my doctor? And she was like, he's doing another surgery. I was like, what's his name? She was like, his Dr. Derek. Like Grey's Anatomy? And she was like, yeah, look, you seem fine, I'm gonna go. I was like, wait, I gotta tell you something. She was like, what do you have to tell me? I was like, on the way home, I'm getting a Nintendo Switch. And then I sat on the couch for way longer than I really needed to playing my Nintendo
Well,
Switch.
you're wonderful in the show,
Thank
so
you.
any research you put into it.
Oh, that was a really important part of the character development.
Absolutely. Now, I know your father is an actor as well, so you came from a family that's in the arts. Has he been able to come? Has he visited set?
Yeah, he came out when we were shooting season 1. And he's such a character. He's extremely charismatic. It's kind of annoying. It's like every time I introduce him to one of my friends, he ends up being one of their friends, and I'm like Alf's daughter. And I brought him on set, and we were shooting kind of a serious scene at the end of the season, and I went off to shoot this dramatic scene, and I came back ready to see my dad be really proud of me. And he was standing in front of the monitor, like doing a stand-up routine for all the producers at Video Village. And I was like, Dad, sit down.
Well, I'm sure he's also very proud of you. But, you know, when an actor gets an audience, they have to
Oh, yeah.
they have to perform.
After he left, all the producers were like, we see where you get it from.
Oh, it's very nice. But that wasn't your original plan. You were going to be an orchestral clarinetist?
Yeah, I studied music, like, for a long time. I was very seriously wanted to be a musician. Yeah, woo, music! Got some music fans in the crowd tonight.
Were you a very talented clarinetist?
No,
Oh,
I
okay.
was not good. That's the main reason I didn't.
That's the main reason you got out of it?
I need a lot of praise,
Yeah,
you know,
okay,
and I wasn't getting enough. I was like, where can I go where I get like a lot of compliments? all
Yeah,
the time?
everything I've seen about orchestral musicians, you never see them getting a lot of praise.
No, they get like that huge applause at the end of a performance, and then I mean, is that it?
I think that's about
That's all that I ever got. I'd got like an obligatory clap, and then people would be like, okay, that's enough, get off the stage.
But you also, it should be noted, you also were in a band.
I was, yes.
What was it? What was the name of your
It's called
band?
Charlotte Nickdow and the Sloth Orchestra.
The Sloth Orchestra. And what were the Sloth Orchestra shows like?
My whole thing with this band was that I had studied classical and then jazz music very seriously for a very long time. After I decided not to do that anymore, I was like, what's the most fun version of being a musician? And it was drinking a lot of wine, which I think you can see.
Yes.
One of those photos.
It should be noted, not trying to keep it on the down low.
This is not a sober woman.
No, that is not.
It was like a big party where I would like sing like I was a toddler with a crown on.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun.
That's a big difference, again, to go back. I've never seen an orchestral clarinetist have a glass of wine with them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, you can't. It'll mess up your reed.
It'll mess up your reed. See? You obviously know a lot more about music than I do.
That's all that I know.
You had a cool thing.
Reeds.
You got to day one where they're like, and obviously this goes without saying, the wine will mess up your reed. This is pretty cool. Explain this real quick.
So this season, small spoiler alert.
Small spoiler. Allowable
tiny.
spoiler.
I've cleared it. We do an episode where you see my character Poppy as a young child growing up in Australia, which is really exciting to get to watch the team put together because they made a family that looked just like my Australian Filipino family, which is really cool. And the actress that they cast to play Poppy's mum is actually a really close friend of mine, Hayley Magnus. I was a bridesmaid at her wedding. This is us at her bachelorette party. And now when we hang out, we call it mother-daughter time.
That's really great. That's like borderline creepy, but mostly really great.
Kind of creepy and kind of sweet.
You're so wonderful on the show, which I love a great deal, and I'm so happy to have you here. Thank you so much for making time for us. You guys, that's Charlotte Nickdow. New episodes of Mythic Quest stream Fridays on Apple TV+. We'll be right back.